What's up, everybody? It's RaeQuan Battle here. I'm a 6'5" shooting guard from the Tulalip Indian reservation, and this is my journey. My first time really stepping out and saying I'm gonna go play basketball today was my 3rd grade year. My mom got me out of bed for this Christmas tournament, and one of my close family friends, his name is Cyrus Freiberg, and he was our coach, one of my first coaches ever, brought me up to a little Indian tournament up in the Lummi reservation, and just fell in love with it then. I won the MVP, and I said, I can do this. I can do this for sure. Yeah, so the high school I went to, my mom and my grandfather went to, so it's, not unfamiliar to what I was experiencing back then. Marysville-Pilchuck is the school I went to. There was a school called Tulalip Heritage, that's where my little brother goes, shout out to them. I was gonna attend that school, but I ended up just going outside because I thought it was bigger for me, and then I had some, just dreams and aspirations of playing Division I basketball and playing, pro basketball, which I'm doing now. So I just made the choice, said I'm gonna follow where my mom went and play for Marysville-Pilchuck. My reservation is a mix of things. So we're not that far out of Seattle, about 40 minutes north of Seattle. It's kind of a mix of a city reservation, and then you got our little countryside to us because we out in the trees a little bit. But it's fairly what you would think. It's a very cultural oriented space for people. Everyone knows each other, but it's also just slightly big enough to where you can meet some new people, and it's just very family oriented. I stayed home because, I wanted to show not just my family or myself even, I just wanted to show so many Indian kids, and not just Indian kids, minorities across the country, that you can go anywhere, where you dream of, just based off where you grew up at. And it's just up to you to kind of pave the way, and don't be afraid to ask for help, because, you can dig yourself out of any hole.
Gets it over to RaeQuan Battle. RaeQuan's got to go in a hurry. He's past half court. Now from the logo. Shots up. Shot scored! Johnny scored! Are you kidding me? At the buzzer!
Man, yes, the college career was a roller coaster. I started at University of Washington, and I barely got in there. For anybody who is doing homework or, in an academic hole, don't think you can't get out of it, because I was in a very deep hole going into my senior year, and I managed, and I was able to kind of, just get out of there and go play D1 right away. It was fun. Played 2 years at the University of Washington, but my journey took me elsewhere, and I ended up at Montana State, and it was super fun. I was able to kind of find myself there as a player and a person, rather than just, I'm just a basketball player or whoever it is. I was able to kind of move away from my family and be able to just grow. And that's what I, took away from Montana State the most. And then when I went to Montana State, shout out to my English teammates, Jabril Bello, Ahmed Adamu, Great Osabor, even Coach Chris Haslam, and then we had Caleb Fuller, was another of our British players. We ended up playing a game at Barking Abbey with, I think it was with Hoops Fix, and that was really dope. That was my first introduction to kind of the European core, when it comes to just basketball, and especially the UK core, and it was super dope to, play against dudes like Kyle Carey, who I'm playing now in the SLB, which is pretty dope. So basketball is a small world, and, just bring you to, new experiences and new places. Man, the decision to move, even the first time I made my decision to leave Washington, I didn't really want to leave, it's my home. I feel like I'm a very loyal person to that. Even back in high school, that's why I stayed. But making the choice to move from Montana State to West Virginia was a big one, because I feel like I really built something at Montana State, and not just me, our whole team, our program. We built a whole winning program over there, and it was it hurt to leave, but I mean, things always change, time changes, people grow and adapt and figure out new opportunities for themselves, and some people encouraged me to do that, and Coach Danny Sprinkle did the same, and I took that leap and went to West Virginia. Shout out to the Mountaineers. Coming straight out of college, it was different. I went straight into my workouts. I did 14 NBA workouts. I flew from out of Fort Lauderdale from my trainer, Lamont Evans, to each city, and it was super dope. And I was able to kind of showcase what I have and do what I had to do. And fortunately, I was able to earn a summer league gig with the Hornets, and that definitely shaped me as to who I was, who I am now. It's that was my dream. I know I can, put a Hornets jersey on, or whatever jersey will be, and I'll be able to play at a high level. And playing that first year in the G, it just shows really what I'm capable of. And I wasn't able to kind of, I would say, showcase that as much as I would love to. But, now I get the great opportunity here with Leicester, and see where my career takes me after this. Shout out Coach Rob, man. He made me feel welcome for sure on that first phone call. He said, Ray, like, we got an opportunity for you. You know what I mean? We're familiar with your game. You know, I've watched your college stuff. And he said, I want you to come here and just do exactly that and kind of just adapt and just build onto your, you know, your player profile and help us win. And, you know, he, like, similar words I've heard before where I won championships, and I like hearing those winning words, and Rob spoke that to me, and, you know, I hopped on the ship. Just building new relationships and just being in just a whole different country. It's my first time, especially just a, you know, a little mixed kid from an Indian reservation living in the UK. It's, you know, it's unheard of, and especially doing, you know, playing a professional basketball. It's kind of, you know, like I said earlier, surreal. So it's been a blessing. What I want to achieve here with Leicester is, you know, a playoff championship. That's our goal. Coach Rob, you know, preached it into me. He said they won it last year, they want to do it again. And, you know, I'm here to kind of help him and, you know, whatever I have to do and just lead the way. And if I have to take a seat back, I'll take a seat back. If I have to step up, I'll step up. You know, I'll just do anything to help us win and just leave that legacy of, you know, I love just putting on a show. And, you know, basketball ain't just about winning, it's about having fun. So just go out there and just do what you love to do. Yeah, no, it's a dream come true, you know, just the rest of Indian country being able to just follow my journey and not just follow, show the love that they're showing through social media because they physically can't be here. But, you know, just being able, I wear my heart on my sleeve everywhere I go. You know what I mean? I bring my tribal flag everywhere I go. So our Tulalip tribe flag is here in the UK. I'm sure I'm gonna bring that out. So, but other than that, yeah, the tribe's always with me and I'm always with them. So, I think about it all the time. What I would say to little Ray and just little kids that have dreams, just like, you know, me as a little kid, is to just keep going. You know, don't give up. Don't be afraid to ask for help. Don't be afraid that's because you failed at something that you can't overcome something. You know what I mean? Like, it's when you fail, you're able to learn off of that fail and, you know, turn it into a win. So that's kind of what I would say. Last thing, man, just to everybody back home, I love and miss you guys so much. Just keep the faith and, you know, keep God in your hearts and everything's going to be all right. I know there's a lot of stuff going on back home and just around the country. Just keep your head on straight and keep moving.